So going down was not as hard as coming up. When we were coming up, it was like sort of in the heat of the day, at the end of the day of riding, when it's loose like this, it sort of just churns everything and it gives you so many more little wiggles. On the way down, when you know that it's just going to be straight down, you can see ahead, it's not like it's going to get steeper, you can sort of just let the bike go. I just looked ahead and let it run. I'm going all the way, it's fucking hard.
My home's only for the night, waking up in different places, but I stopped running from my life, and all the pieces found their places. My heart is home with you.
Hi guys, and welcome back to Go Roughly Around the World.
So why the hell are we so bundled up in Mexico?
I know I'm wearing like a long johns, I'm wearing my sweater, Greg has his hat on.
All right, 3 good reasons. Number 1, it does in fact get cold in parts of Mexico in the winter.
It's November.
Number 2, we are in a mountain cabin outside of Mexico City. It's like 3,000 meters in elevation here.
11,000 feet-ish.
Yeah. And number 3, the transformer of the power lines that serves this area blew this morning, and so we can't use the heater. Everything is freezing cold.
So here we are.
It's an adventure. So in the last episode, basically we were in a wild sort of campsite at what we thought was a mine, an abandoned mine. It turns out it was like
a cement factory.
An abandoned cement factory,
Okay,
ruins of past civilizations, and nowhere, like nobody, deep in the sticks.
Yeah.
All of a sudden someone shows up while this guy is in a compromised position. In this episode we find out
who it actually was,
who that snooper was, and what they were all about. We struggle a bit, I think, dealing with the challenge of that road.
Yeah,
in terms of getting back down, because it was hard getting up and it was hard getting down. And then we come across a really just unexpected and amazing best museum ever, stagecoaches.
Yeah.
Old stagecoaches. I guess, are there any other kind?
I don't know.
Are there new stagecoaches?
There could be. But this was really neat. It had all different types, so that was a really interesting one.
Just random find in Pahrump.
Yeah, in Pahrump.
And after that, we go to another sort of wild site deep in the sticks again, once again, have an amazing night of camping.
And then Greg decides that we should go and do a little bit of a loop on this unpaved road, which ends up being really difficult. And you're gonna have to see how that turned out. It's
a challenge. There were signs all over that sort of tried to warn. We dismissed.
Yeah.
And we get ourselves a little bit into it. Yeah. So stick around.
So there was this truck that had passed. They had come up here, they stopped, they did something, and then they came back down.
Right while this guy was pooping. And because this place is absolutely empty and deserted, he wasn't really pooping in a particularly secluded area at all.
And they passed us, and then all of a sudden they started reversing on the road.
But I just kind of hunkered down as I was hunkered, and I continued and just said, don't try and, to myself, right? Don't try and engage with me. I don't want to talk right now. Whimsy was just laying right next to me as I was doing my business, and these guys just drove by.
And he comes and he stops, and this guy, Mike, he comes out and he's like,
I just saw your guys' page. I, out here from Lockdown Performance, figured we'd stop by and give you guys a case of energy drinks.
And I was like, this is really kind. It's so generous, but we are really loaded. Can we each have one? And we'll try it tonight when we put it in the fridge at the Airbnb.
This is what happens when your wild campsite actually has 5G.
Thank you very much.
Have a good day.
That's lovely.
And Mike, it's fantastic that you found us amidst all these people and the hustle bustle of everything. So
this is cool. this is awesome that you guys just come out and
just
enjoy
wild
locations
camping.
like this. It's super cool. So enjoy the rest of your adventures.
Hey, right on. Take care.
Instead of riding with Whimsy on this stretch, I'm gonna ride it alone. I'm a little anxious about it. The road is pretty tough here. It's loose. It's just not comfortable to ride on. So I'm gonna do it without her on there. I'll get to a spot, I'll stop, then I'll come get Whimsy here. She's tied up. Yeah. Yeah, should I pussyfoot it here? Can you move that rock for me? So going down was not as hard as coming up, but it wasn't a true experiment because the conditions were different. On the way down, I didn't have Whimsy on. And when we were coming up, it was like sort of in the heat of the day, at the end of the day of riding. And, you know, like coming up when it's loose like this, it sort of just churns everything and it gives you so many more little wiggles. I'm going all the way. It's fucking hard. On the way down, when you know that it's just going to be straight down, you can see ahead. It's not like it's going to get steeper. You can sort of just let the bike go. I just looked ahead and let it run. I had a few moments where I think it was more my back tire that had a little bit of a squiggle. My front did pretty good. I almost went into one of the big ditches that were there as I was trying to cross over, but my bike corrected itself nicely. You just give it a little power and it's good.
And now I'm waiting for them to hoof it down. And this is a perfect moment as they draw a little closer to do a recall, a danger recall. Danger is our emergency recall word. And we practice it whenever we can to really get her excited for coming back. And every time she does it, she knows that there's going to be a high value treat waiting for her.
Whimsy, danger! Danger, Whimsy! Danger! Whimsy, danger! Danger, Whimsy! Danger! Danger, Whimsy! Danger! Yes! Yes! Good girl, danger, Whimsy! Danger! So now we're all just hunkered down here. We've all made it. Whimsy is now drinking like at a lake because Greg decided to do one of those danger recalls for Whimsy and she definitely performed.
There is only one reason that Whimsy would vacate the shade of the bikes. One would be food. Number two would be because she has to poop after all the peanut butter bliss I gave her. But on the way to doing a number two, I think she's gonna check and see if there's any food lying around.
Chopping something.
We got in a bit early to Pahrump after our off-road escapades.
While we are no longer BMW riders, we still enjoy coming to a Starbucks.
And the reason is, well, do you need a reason to come to a Starbucks?
And so Whimsy here is gonna get her first cup ever. I'm sure she'll love it. Sit.
When you come in a little early like this, you gotta just kill some time, which generally doesn't mean killing time. It means responding to customers and checking on our team and doing all that stuff. But others of us have really just, slept and not participated at all. We got into our Airbnb last night and almost immediately put our gifted Infinity energy drinks right into the freezer and then proceeded to forget all about them. We are taking a brief excursion this morning because our neighbors here on the sort of next lot over from where our Airbnb has been, they have a museum of old stagecoaches. There's another ulterior motive for this, and that is that Whimsy's tractive battery died because we weren't on top of things. And so this morning while it was charging and she was at her most crappling, we didn't get any credit for that.
My buddy Mike has been putting his collection together for 30 years. As you saw some of the pictures of the wagons He's got some more down here. You'll see a poultry wagon. There's like an Amish buggy that actually has like brake drums in it, which is kind of unique. We got another tanker that's coming from the Standard Oil Company. And then, like I said, there's like 6 more in the back that he's still building. We've got an old steam locomotive in the back that we're putting together. It used to be in the face of Palace Station in Las Vegas when it was first built. We're not a museum, it's just, this is where we live, it's our home. So yeah, it's all just a labor of love. We're actually, this area that I'm cleaning up, you can see the pile of rocks over there. It's gonna be a giant labyrinth and a tribute to my Native American tribe. We're gonna do an Indian village right here as well.
We got to talk to Robert here, who owns the place. He's like, do I know you from somewhere? Like not a chance. I mean, are you a filmmaker or something? No. Well, it turns out he'd come across GoRUFFLY at some point and had, knew about us riding with Moxie.
So Angel is an Anatolian Shepherd, and she was one of 2 pups that the neighbor of Robert ended up getting. The second one ended up getting hit in the head by a donkey and died. So they have Angel. Angel likes to roam the property. Supposedly, in the evenings, she likes to play with the coyote puppies. He was telling us that he has night vision goggles, and all of a sudden he heard the coyotes in one of the areas here, put on the goggles, and he saw these little dogs sort of running with this big creature. Turned out the big creature was Angel. She was playing with the pups.
Robert also happened to say that he knows somebody that looks a lot like me, and I thought that was very unfortunate for that other person.
Oh, stage is set like always. Won't be long before I'm gone.
We had a pretty successful day, pretty fantastic. Whimsy did incredibly well. She lasted like an hour and 50 minutes. Straight.
Without a break.
And minimal like...
And in the middle of the hot sun.
And forgot to feed her. And then once we filled up and everything, she just dialed right back in for what, another hour and a half? Yeah. And so we just somehow did incredible time in getting to this area where we're planning to camp. Do we have any idea what the name of this area is? Mm-mm. We haven't got a clue.
Oh, another cow on the left. Wait. No. Did you see that?
And we got in at like, what, 4 o'clock or something? And so Jess took a nap, Whimsy crappled around, ate some cow shit, and then took a nap as well. I bathed, so we both did our things. Now the other thing that I did is I made a bonehead move, and I went running last night without socks on, and that created enormous blisters. And so I skewered them, and I did that sort of old hiker's trick where you put the thread through, and so that'll drain all night long, and like by tomorrow I should be rock and roll. Is the thread
still in there?
Oh yeah, you leave the thread in. Yeah, because if you skewer it, it like closes up. But by leaving the thread, you're allowing it to drain overnight.
So what do you have on your feet? You put your socks back on?
Yeah. I mean, it's drained now, it's empty.
Oh.
And so then it just...
This morning, Whimsy was really like excited to get up here. I don't know if it's because she was hungry and she knows she gets treats every time she gets up here, or if she really wants to go for a ride. But she's been doing fantastic, like she has been calm. She actually came to me today to like put on her harness. Well, she has a bit of teeth showing here though. But yeah, I think we really like dialed it in. She just needs to be in the shade, and the sun shield's been helping with that. So I think it's going to be a good one. It was a great day yesterday, and I'm hoping today will be just as nice. I don't know, I had a little thing there, sorry. So I had a little bit of a scare there, and that sort of set me off badly. And I bet you when I look back at this footage, I'm gonna see that I was just looking straight down at those rocks, trying not to hit the bigger ones, which always causes a problem. It's always when I start out, I have that issue. It's like, I don't have enough of a runway, or I don't feel like I have enough of a runway, and then I cause myself this issue. So like again here, I probably should go faster, and I'm fucking not. I've got my candy out. I'm doing my best to look forward. Looking forward. Causing myself a heart attack. Okay. I'm looking forward here again. Fucking horseshoe. Oh my god. I can't do this here. Sorry, I can't. I need to turn around.
One, two, three, four.
I thought they were coming back to say, hey, I saw you pooping over there. How cool. And Greg is getting himself organized.
No.
What?
I guess we have to make allowances. She is, after all, only 5 months old today. We're gonna taste this, and we're gonna see if we get more energy. Are we trying to squeeze every minute out of, you know, her activity that we get credit for? Yes. And if I can't win for things that I do, then I want to win for things that my dog does.
That we got to do, which we wouldn't have been able to do if we had just gone in the morning without checking. Spring Mountain?
Sure, let's go with that. Jess has never been wrong about geography. So the water at our Airbnb in Pahrump was horrendous. Are there any other issues that are on the table at this point besides the darkness, impending darkness impending?
This is a really calm and pleasant area. It just reminds me that I gotta really be sort of the she-wolf and protect my little cub here.